Hello, everyone. Again. So this is a energetic update, some individual updating as well as on the collective and worldwide. So I wish to first thank all of the supporters of this mission that Femke and I are upon for all of us in humanity, and also great gratitude for all of the ground crew that are out there assisting in this ascension process, which, yes, it's very real. It is the upliftment in consciousness and also the upliftment into the higher realities and the higher state of being. Hence the term, the ascension, which is ascending higher and higher. So you can look at it at the deep divine level of what is occurring, which is usually the perspective I come from. Uh, but you also can look at it from, let's say, the unawakened perspective, to the degree that knows what is divinely occurring, even from the scientific unawakened community. You can see that it is an evolution, if you will, of the human consciousness and everything they are. And so we're in the great absolute times of great good change. So, thank you all on this mission, all of you, which are all of the ground crew, all of us really, and the ground crew is getting bigger every day as more awaken. And as far as I'm given, the majority, at least upon the planet, are awakened to a sufficient degree. So we're making huge strides and bounds and leaps forward in the upliftment in consciousness, also with the physical vessels as we uplift and shift into higher frequencies never known before to the human vessel. The human vessel is affected and begins to undergo great internal change. So you are also evolving internally, the entire body, and yes, of course, the consciousness, all into one. So great things are occurring. And at this time, information, let's say, about the Kundalini being activated and your Merkaba, your chakras, your alignment, more of that information is becoming uh, more and more accessible, and more so accepted and also believed, because it is happening to many more. And it is important. It is a real thing, not spoken of very much in the past. However, it's becoming more prevalent. Um, Indeed, everything is energy, as we know, and as we shift upward in vibration, and of course, vibration and frequency is a very important attribute of energy, and it does dictate reality. So we are indeed in the amazing good times. So what is occurring? I'll keep this short. Rick usually rambles. However, we have so many things to do that I also wish to keep it short. And we've just been so busy, Femke and I, mostly from daylight to dark every day for the last long while. Uh, that will soon be taking perhaps a few days just to rest a bit, which will be great. So, what is occurring as we uplift into higher dimensional space, even, and higher frequency? Your abilities your parapsychological abilities, ESP, which are also your divine abilities. They become more known to you and more stronger, and also cases where you could wake up and know you have a very real new ability. And most of these are within the parapsychological um, gifts, if you will, like telepathy, clairvoyancy, and etc. So these gifts are strengthening as well. But also importantly, your overall sensitivity, which because you are an empath, has been heightened as well. So to a little bit explain why this is so, is that it is true your physical vessels are changing more to a crystalline based organism away from the old organic human carbon organism. And part of that transition involves energetics and upgrades. So during this process, you'll become and have become more sensitive to energies. And when I say sensitive to energies, to feeling, let's say, the negative emotions, which are actual energies, geographical areas that have a negative energetic imprint, and the positive, good sensations and good emotions from others. So with the empath, it's not just like it used to be for humanity. With the empath, you actually feel the energies in the areas and all over. So it is not just like the old regular state of being when this occurs. And your physical vessel is undergoing constant upgrades and evolution towards the crystalline. So it is a process, and as we all with these physical vessels develop them a little bit further to the crystalline, it raises a vibration not only of the individual but all around the planet. And this affects everything in very good ways. Now, this is also directly connected to what I call the two timelines that are currently playing out, the main ones. One is the lower, chaotic, miserable, desperate, and great despair timeline, which is playing out, and then also it is the higher magical timelines where you're discovering more of your abilities, more of the magic, more of the gifts, where your consciousness has expanded and is accepting metaphysics and, of course, divine more than ever, as you enjoy the magic of seeing all of the signs, the miracles, the synchronicities, and in the least knowing that the world was not or is not as it seems, that there is something else. And this is your introduction uh, to the something else for those of you that may be the first time tuning in. So what we can say, it is very real. We guarantee that, and uh, these are very beautiful, auspicious times we are in. So your senses will be heightened more and more as we go into this, and because you're an empath where you feel these energies, again, it's not a curse. It's a huge divine gift. Just as you're developing your empathic abilities, it may seem like it's bad, but that's because you're only here in your process. Once you get up here, you'll discover what it's all about, and also your ability to change the negative that you're feeling. You have it within you to be able to change that energy. And this is part of the reason why you are the empath, but you're not alone. All strategically and geographically placed around the world are many empaths ready for this time, because there is indeed a huge transmutation of energy process that is occurring as the fear is released uh, from the masses, if you will. It is then, um, with the collective, it is transmuted into the positive. To keep it simple, mostly through the act of you being able to be in the highest love states, which is an actual very powerful energy, and also the higher states of gratitude and all of the virtues. And this assists in you. If you're an empath and you feel negated and dense and heavy, well, one of your ways to transmute that is to go and activate your love. Shift your focus off what you're feeling and put that focus into the love and the gratefulness, so that you know what I'm saying, that it's part of a process, and you're becoming more powerful the more you learn yourself how to transmute the energies. So it's a beautiful process, and it's where we are all going as we transmute the negativity out of the timelines. And that creates the upliftment, the rapture, the ascension. So without going too much into detail, in depth with this, what is currently happening is, again, the lower timeline, where there's much panic and ridiculous things, occurring. That is rapidly dissolving. While the higher timeline, what we're all advancing into, is being created. And this is the beautiful world for humanity. So this heaven, what we are doing, the utmost harmonious existence for humanity, we are integrating this into the now, into this space. It's one way to look at it. And that is very real. And I know perhaps all of you watching can attest to what I'm saying, that this is very real, what I'm speaking about. So we have a great effect, and every day you're becoming stronger and stronger at affecting reality, because you're part of raising, ascending humanity into the higher states of being, out of the savagery and the primitive environment that is here now. Yes, this is primitive. When you see children dying every day, and one's lacking of many things, that is savage, as you know, and it's not humane. So again, we're lifting ones out of there. Now, it's great at this time to look at your current existence as experiencing two timelines. The lower one, where the chaos is at, but you need to become more familiar with the higher timeline, where it is what we are creating for all of humanity, and where the world is rapidly and exponentially going into the full harmony. Uh, and one of the best ways, again, is to remain neutral when you look at the timelines and know that this is the lower timeline, chaotic, much going on, much drama, but this is where we're going, up here in the new reality where none of this exists. So one of the quickest ways is shift your focus off of this lower timeline. Don't fight it. Don't get caught up in the drama, for it keeps you in that cyclical loop in that lower density timeline. We're creating the new. So the quicker we get everyone up here knowing this and create the awareness with creating the new, we create it. And we are doing that every moment when ones begin to realize, shift your conscious focus. Because also you need to remember, and this is very true, and it's been even scientifically proven that you are creators of your reality. So you are co-creators. You do have a great effect. But as a result of the ascension, where everything with vibration is getting higher, your ability to create, to manifest, is also heightening. You're becoming a stronger creator that is influencing more of reality every moment. Now, everything with this ascension is a process. However, any of you can just reflect backwards if you don't maybe believe that we are ascending at least to higher consciousness. You can just go back quickly to 2012 and you can see the great awakening from there forward is only one indicator that this is true. Another indicator is look at all of your groups you have out there and growing groups that are talking about all of the metaphysics, all of the energetics, everything involved with this. So that further substantiates that, yes, this is actually occurring, and bit by bit, more are waking up to the reality of this and also to the reality of their divine gifts and power. So, again, being the co-creators that you are, we are more powerful when we shift the focus onto what we want instead of focusing on what you don't want. Because when you put your focus and your emotional feelings on what you don't want, you are actually negating yourself and energizing that to keep it into existence. So one of the greatest things to do is to say, no, that's dissolving. I want to keep my focus on the new and I want to create that. So this is one of the quickest ways that together and to get this done. And it's not meant to be, let's say, one savior to save everyone. It's all of us together as the one savior. And this is what it does. And by having that conscious awareness that it takes all of us to do it, and we're all a huge team, that we are one to do this, that means each one, has a certain responsibility with your energetic fields and your conscious thoughts. Uh, to keep it simple, we're ascending into the higher, new, harmonious reality. So you don't want to be get caught up into manipulative and intentional lower timeline beliefs and themes. You don't need any of that. You are a powerful co-creator. And just because there's stories out about Anunnaki or what have you, you are above that. Don't be tricked by these stories, by believing them, that disempowers you. So you need to know that you have everything within you. You just need to instill the trust and believe it. And the more that you trust and believe that, you will get your own examples, your own confirmations, what occurs in your reality. That eradicates doubt and any fears, because those are also hindrances and anchors to your forward development. So it is happening. We're making amazing leaps and bounds and strides forward. As more awakened, they add to the collective, and we keep changing the entire planet very rapidly. So, with the masculine, what has been activated and initiated only a few days ago is a more stronger ability for the divine masculine to actually manifest and create, and for them themselves to see what they're able to create. So this scenario is a very real thing that's been activated, for within the divine masculine, they need to see this so that they eradicate their doubt and advance higher. By eradicating the doubt, it begins to open the consciousness and change the way that they think. They begin to overcome the suppressive lower consciousness. So it assists them also in rising higher. Now, when I say the divine masculine, I do not mean the advanced divine masculine, even though uh, the divine masculine overall their powers are enhanced. I'm mostly speaking for the ones that are just beginning to uh, awaken to more, to know that there's an actual divine plan in place, and that metaphysics and energy and all of this is involved, and that the magic is very real and very true, the good magic. So this accessible uh, divine energetics has been activated a few days ago. So as a result, what you're going to see is more and more yet of the divine masculine rays. And I need to say it was actually the divine masculine that were suppressed the most upon the planet, with most stripped from them of their energetic values and divine gifts. And it was the divine feminine that maintained that special, important, unconditional love, and her abilities to trust her intuition, which is a divine gift. So she held the space for all of the masculine. And the masculine are transitioning out of the logic mind into the divine Christ consciousness. But very rapidly, that space now is there. That environment, energetic environment, is here now for them to quickly raise, and it is occurring. So that is a very good high divine energetics that has been activated to bring more of the divine masculine online, to bring them more into the picture, but also at the same time the divine feminine are able to go a little bit higher in their gifts and their powers, and they'll be even already are amazing themselves, at such things as able to control the weather and many other good things. So, which is very, very beautiful and important as well as we transition into the most harmonious space ever known and not heard of before, more or less, or experienced by humanity. There's been prophecies and things written of this time. However, we are in this time. It's really happening. So, shift the focus is one of the huge influences upon the reality. Also, by shifting the focus, the old timeline you'll see with restrictions and what have you, it keeps imploding because it cannot contend with the higher energetics of divine virtue and the state of being in the least. So it by not focusing on the lower timeline, it vanishes much quicker. So just shift the focus. Uh, so the physical vessel's still undergoing rapid upgrades. It varies to what one can be experiencing with what you could call ascending or upgrading symptoms. And one of the reasons for that right now, we have so many at so many levels. So there can be a whole bag of symptoms to be seen in any day, and the symptoms pertain to certain levels of development as all are climbing this ascension ladder. And there are different waves of it, so not everyone is affected the same with this. In the past, there was one main wave, then it was two, then it was three. Now there's just so many waves of ones at different levels that you just say it's all, put it all in the one bag, and they experience in reality and also symptoms differently with it. But they all converge. We all converge up here where we're going together. It's just part of the process. So there really is no wrong and no right. If you have teachers or ones, let's say, arguing a little bit among others, but I believe most of that was in the past. Everyone serves a purpose, and just because you did not resonate with this teacher, uh, that just means that that was not your direction. But it does not mean that this teacher was doing specific things for their audience to uplift them, because you need to realize everyone's path is unique to how they go forward and up. And in reality, there's no wrong way. Let's say, even if they got with a false teacher, they had to go there to see the falsity so they could see the truth as well. So everyone does play a part in the process. So in the highest reality, there is no good and no bad. It's just part of the development in the process, what the soul needs to ascend higher. And, all of the uh, the drama emotions like blame and guilt and anger and frustration, worry, all of these things don't even have them. They are anchors that keep you down in the lower density realities. That because you have that within you, you'll attract that in your reality. So this is why we teach the inner work at going within and changing the way you act and react towards others or in any situation, because you also change the polarity of energy. So if you're an aggressive person, just by being in that state, your energetic field is affecting reality to some degree that is negative. And, as a simple logical example of that is, you could have a party going on, everyone just sitting around a bit, and then the light of the party would walk in and cheer everyone up. Then they're all laughing and singing. But then you also could have, the opposite. A party could be going on, and then you had someone, let's say, that was drinking alcohol and started causing a commotion and got angry, and you would see the party dissolve. So these are just lower logical examples of how, yes, your emotions, how they affect reality. So it is not a fantastic thing I'm speaking about. It is really a known thing. So it's important to change your actions in reaction what you have, because that will it dictates what your field is energized, what environment to be in. So if you're always negative, you're going to always be in a negative environment. So it makes absolute sense to not be negating your reality or your environment with negative thoughts and emotions, actions and reactions. So it really is, I can say it this simple, but it is a process. You got to go deep in and find out where they begin at. If you've got great worry, well, that's a fear of lack, if you will. And you've got to go in and just do the opposite. Begin to train your brain and your heart. Don't worry. Say everything is abundant. And then you begin to create that, and you'll see it. You'll see how you attract the good things to you. Uh, Also, selfishness. I had wrote up a great lengthy um, teaching on that. I did not put it out yet because it got lengthy and it's only drafted. But even selfishness, what it does, selfishness stems from the deepest fear of lack. So that is where you've got to go. You've got to go into the deepest fear of lack, say no, be abundant, and then also do the virtues that are in a line with abundance, sharing, compassion, never thinking about there is any lack. So you begin to transcend and master the fears so that you're not creating them in this reality for yourself and for others. So that is very important. All of your inner work, every fear that you must look at, worry, frustration, agitation, go deep within and see where it really begins from. And then start doing the opposite. And as you do that, you instill the trust and the belief, because as you eliminate a fear, it is replaced with a higher virtue, a positive value, which then is reflected in your energetic field, and it changes your reality. So everything here with energetics, it's important to understand polarity and how it affects. Negative, bad actions and reactions are negative, while good and virtuous actions and reactions are positive, and they are uplifting. Positive is uplifting into the higher magical states of being, while negativity is put you down into the dismal areas. So you also need to learn this for yourself if you wish, and if you wish to raise higher and enjoy better experiences. So these are, tips that I give, and things that I teach to assist each one. But it's better uh, to assist, uh, many through just these lives and what I write instead of going one on one. I'll share with you, Father said, Rick, you'll be 1 billion years if you try to share or try to assist ones individually. So, so what we do is we assist, everyone as much as we can. And this is all divinely written. Before you come here with your soul, you can say it was written up here that, oh, someday you'd meet Rick and Rick would assist and you would assist Rick back and forth as we kept evolving higher and higher. And that is when it resonates with one, what I say and what I teach. It's because you could look at, we had that in part of our soul contract that we would come together to assist each other in this great time. That's one way to look at it. So, I wish to say not everyone knows every little detail of how it goes and how we advance, other than what I can give you. And I can guarantee that this is the most beautiful, uh, auspicious, harmonious, glorious time that you are ever in as a human soul. But to get there, you have your certain responsibilities. And if it wasn't so, you wouldn't be hearing this. You wouldn't be hearing your guides telling you, perhaps what foods to eat, what to avoid. Take good care of your organic vessel. Keep it in the utmost shape, because your organic vessel is evolving within. And the cleaner you keep it, because we're going to crystalline, the quicker it evolves. So it means you have a responsibility, that you cannot just be complacent and just sit there and say, oh, I'm ascending, others will do the work. That's not how it occurs. Each one is responsible for doing your work to be part of the whole. So, and it is divinely assured that you get there, but you must do your own work to get there, to be a part of this. If you don't ever clear your fear and do your inner work, you cannot be a part of this where fear doesn't exist. You will be part of the fear. the hell, if you will, which is the lowest dimension where you're at now. You're ascending the ladder up out of the lower dimensions. And you're taking your physical vessel with you, and you're responsible for that. So, all of your actions, reactions, your deeds, and taking care of your physical vessel is important. If it was not important, you would not even be given that guidance. So, that is great. Um, So the third eye as well. Again, there's been huge leaps forward in activating that to further degrees, and also activating it for ones that did not know of it before. So with this, it's enhanced your ability to begin to, in the least, to begin to see the visions within it, and to see certain things that will guide you along your path. So it has been heightened and turned on. You're always doing everything correct. Just because yours mightn't be turned on yet, don't think that it's not going to be turned on and that there's something wrong. Because no, you're exactly where you should be, and it's coming. Keep open to that it's coming, then you get yourself there quicker. If you keep thinking you got a block, you're going to keep creating that scenario where you do have a block, and you'll stagnate yourself. So trust everything that it's coming, and everything is on divine timing, and you all get there. You would not be watching this right now if, or whenever you watch it, if you were not part of this and going there. So trust that. And Prime Creator is very real. There is a very real divine plan that is guaranteed, that is in motion here. Um, the exactness of it uh, is determined by us, but the end result, the exact end result, is written. It's where we're going, which is the most greatest harmonious um, existence beyond perhaps even what the human brain could have comprehended. But we're beyond that. We're beyond the logic capacity of the conscious mind. Uh, all of you have entered, at least to some degree, the higher consciousness, where more of the truth is at in the divine magic. And part of your physical body upgrading has been activating more, no, I will say, a neurogenesis, at growing, new neural pathways, and especially one coming down here that give you more and more abilities. So it again, it's an ongoing process, but it's very real, and many of you can attest to even that. So don't get distracted by misconceptions out there that keeps you looping in the old. You're part of creating the new, and you don't need to take any of the old forward in the society, the old ways, the ways it operated. So you want to create something that is new and free. The old was restrictive. So your detachment and separation, to the degree that feels good with you from the old, and switch that focus to the new, what you want, that depends on you. But you have that very strong ability, and you're seeing more now, and it is occurring. So, as a result, as you're seeing, everything is changing in the world because we're rising in higher energetics, and more are becoming positive, virtuous, divine, and it's uplifting the entire planet. So as we're shifting reality up, because of the polarity of the energy, the old also is dissolving quicker and quicker, and it's forcing ones that are not awakened to awake, and they began to see very quickly. So it is a divine construct to assure the lower timeline dissolves because we are creating the new. So it's all guaranteed and assured. The linear timing of it is it can vary because it depends on us here. It's happening very quickly with every effort that each one does in the good and virtuous, positive ways. It keeps creating that momentum, which is getting more and more. So we're having monumental shifts forward with it. So you can use the lower timeline, how ridiculous and insane it's getting, but that is actually an indicating factor of how rapidly it's dissolving, and that ones are able to say, something's got to be, there's got to be something else. There's got to be a choice, a solution. But it is, it's right here, and it's what we're all creating, and they do see it. So we got a huge Lions Gate portal coming up, 8-8, leading up to that, and that is a very real energetic portal, and it does affect and influence things. And one of the reasons why it does, when you have so many powerful co-creators believing in that one thing, it does affect things. So also, when you have all of the powerful co-creators believing in the new reality, it creates it as well. So the same thing. So shift your focus on what you wish to experience and enjoy for you and your family and your children. And it can come very quick, and it is coming very quick, I should say, because we're creating it. So everything is uplifting, everything is great. I've been just totally busy, and I was Femke and I just constantly going, meeting many, spreading the word on the GPMS and that part of reality, and also in assisting ones individually wherever we could when we had time. And having said this, I put out a clarion call last night for British Columbia to get some rain in there to help quell the forest fires. So many joined in that, and as I wrote a comment in the post, apparently this afternoon it's giving rain showers there, and looks like Thursday some more heavier rain. So as a result, you are responsible for creating that, because I checked the weather forecast for the Okanagan area of British Columbia last night before I put out the clarion call, and it gave very hot temperatures and sun, no mention of showers. But when I checked this morning, after I put the clarion call out, it at least was a 40% of showers there this afternoon, and great divine companion friend Daniela, she lives there, and she sent me a video this morning. She said, "Rick, thanks, the first time in 3 weeks I can see the mountain over there." So the air quality has also got better there as a result of all of you coming together to do this. And we know, at least if you look at the post, there's only about 100 some reactions on there. However, there may have been hundreds, that joined into this. But even, if it's only hundreds where you're able to create that rain and do that, then you can create this new reality very quickly by putting your focus and your intent there as well. So we're a few hundred, we're able to do this, what we're doing with the GPMS. When you got a billion, together with the one common goal, one simplified common goal, and one intent, nothing stops that. So it happens. So Thank you all. Love and light. Much gratitude. And woohoo! And we're doing it. And we're in such amazing times. So keep spreading the good news to everyone if it resonates and with you to do so. And yeah, we're getting it done. And also, as we get it done, your bodies advance much quicker. So, illumination with some parts of your body as well. Uh, some should be experiencing that now, or a little bit more of it too, because there's many cool things happening, and it's very real. Uh, for us that know and have experienced it. So if you haven't experienced it, yes, of course you mightn't think it's very real, but there's many of us that know it's real and we've witnessed it within ourselves and others, and it's very real. And uh, just because you're not experiencing it just means you're not there yet. But keep your focus on going forward, and you'll be a witness as well and say, yeah, this is real. And it gets very good and cool and fun. So, again, love and light, much gratitude, unity, and have a beautiful day. Thank you.